Okay, so I got my Korg keyboard wet. It got rained on very heavily, and I let it dry out for about 3 days and plugged it in, and nothing happened. So this is the keyboard opened up right now, and there's the circuit boards, and what you want to do is take this part off right here, this bunch of screws right here. Take those off. I've also got these ones over here that you need to take off. To get this part of the keyboard unhooked, you have to unhook this. I just took a screw out right here, and there's a little screw right in here that you also need to undo. Once you undo that, this strip right here will come up. Make sure that nothing is plugged in. You don't want anything plugged in when you open up anything electronic. Now that we have the strip up, I'm going to pull this just backwards, and it'll just come on out. Might have to pop these little pins up all the way across. And you'll see up underneath there's these little rubber things right here. You see those? I don't know if you can. I'm not going to take mine completely apart because I've already cleaned it. What you want to do is you want to pull these rubber pieces completely out like this. It's very easy to pull them out. Make sure you don't rip them. Okay, now see, I have that out. That's what it looks like on both sides, like that. Next thing you want to do is just get some rubbing alcohol and a bunch of Q-tips and put it in the alcohol like that. Get nice and wet. It's kind of hard to do this with one hand, but you want to pull these up, and you want to clean all these areas in here with alcohol. See, you can even see what I'm doing there. Like this. Clean all those. Also clean up underneath the circuit board with alcohol. It'll dry up, so just get it real clean. And then you want to clean these too. Clean all the way around them. It took me about, I'm sorry about wobbly, but it took me about 3 hours to clean this keyboard. And I went in and out of each one of these. Don't worry about getting them wet with alcohol because it will dry up. Just make sure you give it plenty of time to dry up after you've put it back together again. And then you put all these back on after you've cleaned them. I've already cleaned these. I just wanted to show someone because I had a hard time figuring out what to do. I wanted to make a little video to show everyone else. You'll find that there'll be a lot of dirt in here on both sides. So just from the dust over the years. So get all these little contacts as clean as possible, and then you just lift this little circuit board back up and slide it back in there so it'll be with the others. And I know this is dark, but if you have any questions, just let me know. I will help you. Okay, so now I've cleaned all of this with my Q-tips. I cleaned all of this thoroughly with my Q-tips. And these have little prongs on them. You want to make sure that when you line this back up and put it back in, all those prongs fit in there snug. You don't want it to be wavy at all, because otherwise you'll have problems with a key maybe not playing quite as hard as the other ones, soften, or maybe not even play at all. So all of these really need to make sure that you have them in there nice and flat. And then after you've done that, just put it back together again. Okay, so after cleaning it thoroughly, and this thing did not work. No keys were responsive. All the keys work. All the keys have the same loudness, softness. I took this thing apart 3 times. First time, I had one key that didn't work. It was this one right here. So I had to take it back apart, make sure that contact was in the right place. The second time, I had one that was kind of soft. So I took it apart again and put it back together again. And now it works great. Now I've seen directions, same directions for keys that are getting stuck, keys that are not playing, keys that have had liquid spilled on them. This was water that was went on mine. It was rain, so very well worth trying to do that part if you can fix it yourself. It's pretty easy fix. You don't have to take really any of the boards off. Just you have to lift them up and clean them real well. Just make sure everything's unplugged and good luck. On a final note, make sure that the back of the keyboard, when you put it together, is completely lined up. Otherwise you're going to have keys jam right here, or you're going to have keys jam right down here. So make sure that the back is completely lined up. I've taken this thing apart probably 4 or 5 times. I've had keys that were dead. I've had keys that were dampening. I had it not line up, so keys were getting stuck. So through trial and error, I've learned a lot about putting a keyboard together.